Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Liv and I am so glad you're here. My last two videos have been very fall themed, October themed, so I thought why not keep that trend up, and today we are doing a quick and easy fall makeup tutorial. I have done plenty of makeup tutorials on this channel. If you guys don't know, I have a TikTok account called Looks by Liv and I post beginner friendly makeup tutorials every single day, and I've also done my fair share of tutorials on YouTube, and I have the tendency to get into the nitty gritty a lot, give you guys a lot of tips and tricks, and I love doing that. But sometimes you just want a quick tutorial, something easy. I don't want anyone to feel overwhelmed by this tutorial. I want this to just be like a go-to, very simple makeup routine that you can follow to look cute during the fall season. So with all that being said, let's just get right into it. Alrighty, so step one of your makeup routine should always be to moisturize your skin. I have already done that, and I also always start by doing my eyebrows first. So I'm just taking this Rare Beauty clear eyebrow gel. It is my favorite brow gel I've ever tried, and I am just going to lay down my brows before we get into our eyeshadow because I don't want any products getting all caught up in my brows and making them look really weird. With that being said, we are going to start with eyeshadow today. I know in a lot of my makeup tutorials I don't do eyeshadow looks, but today we are doing a cute little fall look, and the first step to eyeshadow is that you need a base on your eyelids. So I'm just going in with my Rare Beauty concealer and I'm just going to apply a pretty good amount to my lids, and with a little blending brush I am just going to make sure my entire eyelid is covered, especially all the way up to under my brow. You want to think of your eyeshadow as a painting, and this concealer is the canvas for your painting, so you want it to be nice and smooth so you have a blank canvas and not your veiny eyelids. Next, you do need to set your eyelids with some powder or else the eyeshadow is going to get patchy and not good. This is by Say Beauty. This is just some loose translucent setting powder, and I'm just going to set right over top of my eyelids. For our eyes, I feel like it's kind of obvious what the best look for a fall makeup look would be. Also, wait, just shout out my cute little Halloween nails. But when I think fall, literally the first colors that pop in my head are brown and orange. I don't love orange on my eyes, but that kind of like bronzy, very warm toned gold look, super fall, so that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm actually gonna be starting with my bronzer. This is the YSL All Hours Hyper Bronzer, and I'm gonna take a fluffy brush. This is the Sephora Pro Crease 26 brush. I'm going to dip into my bronzer, and I'm going to put this all over the crease of my eyelid, and this is going to act as our transition shade. Now I'm going to dip into my darkest shade I'll be using. So I have this little YSL palette. This is their Couture Mini Clutch in the shade 100, and you want a brush that's smaller and more dense. This is by Glamlight and it is their 04 brush. So really any darker kind of chocolatey brown shade like this will work. I'm going to start working this into the very outer corner of my eye, and a tip I learned in makeup school that I still use all the time is to go in the position of a C. So literally with my brush, I'm just doing this little C motion, but I'm not bringing it all the way up to where I have my transition shade. This dark shade you do not want in your crease. You want it just in this little outer portion of the lid itself. You can definitely adjust how bold your eye look is in this step. If you want a very dramatic eye look, then go pretty heavy, pretty dark. If you just want some natural dimension, go pretty light-handed like how I am. I'm really not adding a lot of color. And what I like to do is go back in with my fluffy brush that I used for my transition shade and just really make sure that everything is blended together. Okay, I don't want this to be like a full cut crease eye moment because that would be very bold and I'm not really in the mood for that. So instead, I'm going to take another dense brush. This is ColourPop's E17 brush, and I'm going to dip into this light tan neutral shade right here, and I'm going to press this in right to the eyelid, close to the inner corner of my eye, almost as if I'm doing a cut crease, but obviously with a shadow instead of concealer. It just helps make this have a little bit more of a gradient. Alright, it's time for shimmer. So I'm actually going to take my Dior highlighting palette because when I think fall, I think gold, and this just has the prettiest gold shade ever. So I'm just going to go right in with my finger because you'll get the most pigment that way, and I'm going to gently place this right where we just put that lighter colored shadow. I'm slightly blending it out into the area where we have our darker shade, but there I'm just doing like very light flicks so it's not a harsh line, as opposed to the very dense taps I'm doing in the inner corner to get more pigment there. I really hope that's making some sense. You could either leave it like this, I know it looks crazy because we have no other makeup on, or you can add a winged liner. I'm gonna add a wing because I love a wing, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Alright, I just added a cute little baby wing. Now I'm just taking some micellar water on a cotton round, and I'm just cleaning up any eyeshadow fallout we got from that look. Okay, cute. Now we can get to our base. In the fall, I just like ripped the whole thing off when I opened that. Wait, oh my god. Is this broken? Why is the pump like sticking out like that? Oh, ah! No, I just got foundation on my brand new ivory sweater. No, I don't know why I'm wearing an ivory sweater to do a makeup video. That was my bad. Okay, anyway, in the winter my skin gets really dry, so I definitely recommend using a glowy foundation to kind of make up for that. I know we all miss our natural summer glow, but we're just not gonna get that back right now. So this is Say Beauty's foundation. I do really like this one when it doesn't stain my ivory sweater. So definitely just do a light layer of glowy foundation all around your face. Winter is also the time for contour. This is my favorite bronzer. It is the Say Beauty liquid bronzer, and I'm using the shade Sand, which is a more cool tone bronzer, so that's why it's definitely more reminiscent of a contour. And I prefer a more cool tone shade for the fall because my summer tan has faded at this point and I do not want to be looking orange. So still a bronzer, just something that's a little bit more on the cool tone side. And I'm just applying this to my cheekbones, my jaw, and my forehead as per usual. I feel like I spent way too much time explaining that eye look, so I am gonna kind of go a little bit faster through the base routine because you guys have seen my base routine literally 1,000 times, but I still am gonna show you every step. We're not gonna skip anything. Speaking of skipping steps, I actually am gonna skip one step, and that is liquid blush. I'm skipping liquid blush because for a fall look, I like to look more bronzy rather than blushy. I don't know, I just feel like fall is brown and not pink in my head. We are gonna do a little bit of powder blush, but we're not gonna do my usual bright pink liquid blush that I typically would do. So with that being said, we're gonna go right to concealer. I feel like I need something especially hydrating during this time of year, so I am gonna go back in with my Rare Beauty concealer. This is a great medium coverage, super hydrating finish, which is what I need because the winter is when my skin freaks out, my eczema comes back, or not the winter, the fall. By winter, all these things are already in full force, but fall is like the start of all that coming back. So I definitely just have to be a little bit more gentle with what products I'm choosing to put on my face. I've been kind of breaking out recently, which hasn't been fun, and I feel like that happens to a lot of people when the weather starts to change. So what I found helpful is to just use very hydrating, lightweight, skin-friendly makeup products instead of like fully caking on the full coverage at this time of year. For now, it just needs that extra love and hydration. Alright, I know it's getting cold, but we still need powder. I will never tell you to not put powder on your face. I'm such a firm believer that it's necessary at all times of year. It is extra necessary in the summer since you're sweating, but powder is not just about sweat. It's really about locking in your products and getting that smoothed, airbrushed look. Like, just look at the difference before versus after. Alright, my whole face is set and locked into place, and now we're gonna pull our bronzer back out. This is the same YSL bronzer from before, and we are just gonna go full forces in with this. For the fall, I like to bronze up my skin like there's no tomorrow because I feel like that's just the look. Like, I just want to look bronzy. I am so bronzed, but I need some nose contour. In the summer, I usually just kind of throw bronzer on my nose and call it a day, but in the wintertime, I do like to be a little bit more precise because it's not just going to pass as like a natural tan anymore. Now it's going to be like, okay, she contoured, so I might as well embrace that, you know? And my biggest tip here is to blend in your nose contour with your eyeshadow. Since we did use this bronzer as our transition shade for the eyeshadow, it's gonna blend perfectly together and it's gonna make the shadows of your nose contour look so much less harsh and a lot more natural. And if you go overboard, you can always just blend it back down with your sponge. I'm really gonna take my time to be precise and carve out the sides of my nose with powder as well. I just feel like for a look like this, a messy, natural bronzed nose just does not look cute. You need the full-on contour, you know? And I'm gonna let this powder on my nose sit for a little bit, and in the meantime, we are gonna add a little blush. This is my favorite blush ever. It is by Kosas, and it is the shade Bliss. I love this because it's not like a summer hot pink, but personally, I don't love a coral blush on myself. I really do need that pink, and I feel like this is just a great fall transitional shade because it's still pink, but it's not like neon. So I'm just going to add a touch of this blush, and I'm really only putting it quite high on my cheekbones above my bronzer because I'm not trying to look like I'm sunburned. In the summer, I would take blush, put it all over my face, and it looked super cute because it's like, oh, maybe she just went to the beach. But in the fall, you're not getting away with that. So I'm keeping it minimal, really at the top of my face. This is also going to help to give me a more lifted look. Now is also a good time to finish out our eyeshadow look. So I'm going to take my little smaller ColourPop brush, dip into my bronzer, and I'm going to apply some drop shadow right under my eye. I'm literally begging you not to skip this step. A lot of people think that doing eyeshadow under the eye makes their eye look smaller, but it just makes the whole look more complete. And I actually think this eye pops a lot more than the eye without it. So I beg you, just do it. Do not skip this step. I'm gonna use my lighter shade of highlighter and just apply it right to the inner corner of my look. Highlighter on the nose. And I'm actually gonna skip face highlighter. I feel like that's just more summer vibes. Finishing touches, it is time for lashes and lips. For lashes, I'm just gonna curl and do some mascara. And I'm using the Rare Beauty mascara, by the way. Alright, lashes are lashing, looking so good. I love the Rare Beauty mascara. And for lips, I want to show you guys something I learned while I was in makeup school, and it's actually using bronzer as lip liner. So I'm just taking this little detailed angled brush, I'm gonna dip right into my bronzer, and I'm literally gonna line my lips with it as if it's lip liner. I'm just gonna keep dipping in and going in like little sections. I ended up mixing in my darker eyeshadow as well, but honestly when I do this it actually lasts longer than lip liner does, so definitely try this out if you have not already. And then for the lip, I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade KKW. I love this color because it's like a very 90s moody neutral pink. I'm gonna put it on, and guys, here is our completed makeup look. I absolutely love how this makeup look turned out. I think it is gorgeous. I love the eyeshadow. I love that we kept it super bronzy, not too blushy, and I feel like the brown nude lip is just perfect. It is so fall. It's definitely very different from my summer makeup tutorial that I posted back in July, I believe, but I love it. I love the fall. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this. This is like perfect with my little Halloween fall nails now and my little cozy sweater. I just want to watch a Halloween movie and curl up in bed. But I love you guys so much. I really hope you like these sit down makeup tutorials. Comment down below any other makeup challenges or tutorials you want to see on YouTube from me. I love you guys so very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys! Is it not strange?